Hi everyone, and welcome back to First the Coffee Crochet. In this tutorial we're going to go over how to make a quick and easy bag holder pattern. Now this pattern does use the mesh stitch, which is just a single crochet stitch and a chain stitch that is alternated all the way around. Very easy to do and it works up fast. The only stitches you need to know in this pattern are the half double crochet and single crochet. We will do a single crochet 2 together, but we'll go over that in this tutorial. This pattern is written in US terms, and it is worked in the round all in one piece. The initial chain at the start of each round does not count as a stitch, and while stitching up the main base of the body of this bag holder, the beginning of the round does not have a starting chain. The finished size is 16 inches long by 5.5 inches wide when it's laid out flat. Now this one does not expand a whole bunch when you stuff bags in it widthwise, but it does expand lengthwise pretty far. You can make the bag holder taller by increasing the number of repeat rows of the mesh stitch. And the handle is also adjustable, and you can just increase the number of chains that we use in that or decrease it depending on what you want to hang this on. To make this bag holder, you'll need 175 yards of a medium weight cotton yarn. The yarn that I did use for both of the models of this, the brown one was the Lion Brand Re-Up Bonus Bundle cotton yarn, and then the blue one that's in this tutorial is the Big Twist Cotton Blend from Joann's. You'll also need a 5.5mm crochet hook, a yarn needle to weave in your ends. Stitch markers can be handy so you can know where the start of each row is as we're going up on the body of it, and a pair of scissors. Now if you like to make bag holders or you're a maker that likes to make them for market, I have other patterns that you can also check out, and I'll leave a link for those down in the description below. And as always, there is a written version of this available on my website, and I'll leave a link for that also in the description below. So let's go ahead and get started. So to start out, we're going to create our slip knot. And for our foundation chain, we're going to make a chain of 20. So once we have our chain of 20, we're going to join our last chain here to our first chain by using a slip stitch to create a circle that we're going to work out of. So now we have a circle here. And for round one, we're going to be working into this circle, and we're going to do 32 half double crochets into this circle. So to start out for round one, we're going to chain 1. I'm just going to pull this tail over it and crochet around the tail so it leaves less to weave in. This initial chain will not count as a stitch, so we'll start with our first half double crochet. We're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the circle, yarn over and pull up a loop, give you 3 loops on your hook. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, so just do that 31 more times so you have a total of 32 half double crochets going around. As you're doing these, you're going to want to pull these back, and you'll want about every 8 to take up a quarter of your circle here. So you just try to evenly space them out here. Okay, so after you have your 32 half double crochets, we're going to use a slip stitch to join the last and first half double crochet stitch. So for round 2, again, we're going to be doing half double crochets, but we're going to increase on this round. And for this round, we're going to chain 1 at the start. This won't count as a stitch, and we're going to be starting in this first stitch here. And we're going to do 1 half double crochet in that first stitch. And then in the next stitch, we're going to do 2 half double crochets. And we're just going to repeat that. So in the next stitch, we're going to do 1 half double crochet. And then in the following stitch, we're going to do 2 half double crochets. So that's all you're going to do for this round is 1 half double crochet in your next stitch, and then 2 half double crochets in the following stitch. Okay, so the last stitch of round 2 should have 2 half double crochets in it, and that'll bring your total stitch count up to 48 for this round. And just like before, we're going to use a slip stitch to join our last and first stitch together. Now for rounds 3 through 6, these are just half double crochets in each stitch all the way around. So we'll continue on with the 48 stitches per round. And for these rounds, we're going to chain 1, and we'll start in that first stitch, and we're just going to do a half double crochet. And then just do a half double crochet stitch in each stitch all the way around. At the end of these rounds, you'll join your first and last stitch using a slip stitch like we've done before. So you can go ahead and pause the video, and I'll meet you back here at the end of round 6. Okay, so at the end of round 6 here, like before, we'll just use the slip stitch to join the last and first stitch together. And now for round 7, that's where we're going to start going into the mesh stitch. So for round 7, we're not going to do a starting chain. We're going to start off by going back into that first stitch there and just doing a single crochet. So we just insert our hook, yarn over, and pull up a loop. That'll give you 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through both loops. And that's going to be our first stitch of the row. Then we're going to chain 1, skip the next stitch, and then do a single crochet in the following stitch. And that's all we're going to do for this round is chain 1, skip a stitch, and put a single crochet into the following stitch. So just continue to repeat this all the way around till you have the last stitch left in the row. Okay, so we have our last stitch left for round 7, and this is our first stitch here. So we're not going to chain 1 here. Instead, what we're going to do is we're just going to slip stitch into this first stitch, and our slip stitch is going to count as a stitch, and that'll be our chain that usually comes after the single crochet. So now for rounds 8 through 55, this is the main repeat for this pattern. And what we're going to do for these rounds is, again, there's no starting chain. So we'll be going into this first stitch here. We're just going to do a single crochet at the beginning of the round. Then we're going to chain 1, skip the chain space here, and do a single crochet into the previous round's single crochet stitch. So just repeat that all the way around, chain 1, skip the chain space below, and then single crochet into the single crochet of the previous round. Okay, so at the end of these rounds, like our previous rounds, what we're going to do for the last stitch is we're going to use a slip stitch to join the first and last single crochet, and we're going to count that as a chain, so it'll count as a stitch. So you'll just repeat this all the way up through round 55. So rounds 8 through 55 are the mesh stitch. Okay, so once you're at the end of round 55, for round 56, we're just going to be doing half double crochets in each stitch all the way around. So you'll be doing it in the single crochet and the chain space. And we'll be starting in this first stitch here. And for this round, we will chain 1. And then starting in that first stitch, we're just going to do a half double crochet. And then we're going to do a half double crochet into this chain space here. And then into the next stitch, and into the next chain space. Just do that all the way around. So when you're at the end of this row, just remember that that slip stitch counted as a chain space in our previous row. So you're going to want to do a half double crochet into that slip stitch. And then just like before, we're going to use a slip stitch to join our last and first stitch. Now for round 57, we're just going to be doing a half double crochet stitch in each stitch all the way around. And for this round, we're going to start out by chaining 1, and we'll be starting in this first stitch. And just do a half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. Okay, so at the end of round 57, you're just going to use a slip stitch to join the last and first stitch together. And for round 58, for this round, we're going to be doing single crochet 2 together every other stitch. So for this round, we're going to start out by chaining 1, and then in that first stitch, we're going to do a half double crochet. And then over the next 2 stitches, we're going to do a single crochet 2 together. So you're just going to insert your hook into the first stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, and then insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. That'll give you 3 loops on your hook. You're just going to yarn over and pull through all 3. So that takes 2 stitches below and makes them 1 stitch. And it's the same height as a half double crochet, which you did here. So then in the next stitch, we're going to do a half double crochet. And then over the next 2 stitches, we're going to do a single crochet 2 together. And then the next stitch, a half double crochet. And then over the next 2 stitches, single crochet 2 together. Just alternate this all the way around. One half double crochet, and then 1 single crochet 2 together. So just alternate these 2 stitches all the way around. So the last 2 stitches of the round should become 1 with your last single crochet 2 together. And then, like before, we'll use a slip stitch to join the last and first stitch. So now for round 59, what we're going to be doing is half double crochets in each stitch all the way around. So again, for this, you'll just start out by chaining 1, and then starting in that first stitch, just do a half double crochet. And then just do a half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. Okay, so at the end of round 59, you're just going to use a slip stitch to join your last and first stitch together. Now we'll start doing the ring so you can hang it from a hook or a doorknob. And for this, we're going to start from our last round, and we're going to chain 1. And then in that first stitch, we're just going to do a single crochet. And then we'll do a single crochet over each of the next 3 stitches. So we'll have a total of 4 stitches. Now we're going to make a chain of 12. Now if you have something that you need this to be a bigger loop for, you can go ahead and chain more than 12. You'll just need to increase the amount of single crochets we're doing back around this chain. Okay, so once you have your chain of 12 or more, you're going to use a slip stitch to join the end of your chain to that first single crochet that we did. And now we're just going to do single crochets all the way back around, and we're going to do 26 single crochets all the way around. If you made a longer chain, you'll just need to add more single crochets to that. You just want them to be nice and tight together, so this makes a nice oval for you. So you'll start out by chaining 1, and then we're just going to go underneath that chain and do a single crochet. Just do that 25 more times. Okay, so after you have your 26 crochet stitches around that chain, on your last single crochet, we're just going to use a slip stitch to join it to the stitch where our last single crochet was in that 4 single crochets we did down here. So that's that last single crochet there. and that's the stitch it went into. So we're just going to do a slip stitch into that, and then you're done. And you can go ahead and fasten off and weave in your ends. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoy these tutorials, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you can be notified as new ones come out.